Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now, in my past videos, I've done reviews of Love, Death and Robots and The Secret Level, and I'm mixing up the variety a bit with a movie I actually watched pretty recently. Now, this is Fear Street Prom Queen. Came out, I'd say, it's 5 days ago? 6 days ago on Netflix. This is part of the Fear Street series, which was a trilogy that was released back in 2021, and these are based on books by R.L. Stine. Now, this movie doesn't relate to those other movies in any serious way, and it can be watched completely on its own. So, I'm going to go into the story of the movie, describe what happens in it, and then I'm going to let you know what I think of it, where it could have changed things a bit, how it could have improved, or what I think it did really well. And so, if you don't want spoilers, then I would suggest you watch now. I'll probably put a timestamp up on screen of when you can skip to if you want to avoid spoilers. But I'd warn you because I'm probably going to spoil the entire movie throughout this whole video. So the movie starts in 1988. It feels like a very traditional 80s movie, and they're definitely going for that vibe with the font choices, the style, even the music. It's meant to copy the nostalgia of the 80s. And it does work for a lot of movies. I feel like it works for this one well enough, at least. We follow Laurie Granger, who wants to become prom queen. Now, she's not very popular because there's rumors that her mother killed her father. This isn't really expanded upon until right at the end of the movie. But for now, you can just know that this makes her a complete outcast. She's going up against a popular group of girls. Think of like Mean Girls, that sort of group. And they're headed by a woman named Tiffany Falconer, the basic rich bitch who wants to win prom queen, and all of her friends. So they want to have this prom night to make their town get a bit of a better reputation. In the other movies, it's expanded upon more, but the town of Shadyside, where this takes place, has a really bad rep for violent crime. And obviously, Laurie's mother being involved in that sort of thing doesn't help her reputation anymore, because there's belief that the town's cursed. So the movie gets pretty quickly into the gets pretty quickly into the plot of the killings. Just before prom night, one of the candidates running for prom queen is stabbed and killed. If I remember right, it's 6 people going for prom queen. The first one is killed by this Master Sans. He's in a red raincoat. He's a pretty tall guy, so you can tell pretty on there. So it looks like a big guy. And the movie definitely wants to keep you guessing about who it could be. Prom night eventually comes, and the rest of the movie takes place on prom night. Laurie and her best friend are pretty much alone on prom night, while this other group of bitches is pushing to win for prom queen. One of the group and her boyfriend are killed by the assailants again when they sneak off to have all fun in the classroom. And it starts to build to a point where one by one the women start being killed, the candidates for prom queen. The next one is another one of the group of girls that wants to run for it, and her and her boyfriend are killed in the electrical room. Meanwhile, the main woman's boyfriend, not the main character's boyfriend, but the main bitch's boyfriend, Tiffany, her boyfriend breaks up with her and approaches the outcast girl because they have feelings for each other. I'm not sure the boyfriend actually has feelings for her, but he is taking advantage of her. It kind of sucked. He does get his comeuppance, of course. Eventually, Laurie's friend, Megan, begins to think something's wrong because, the women are starting to go missing. Another one of the wolf pack is killed. The wolf pack's the name of these girls. And it starts getting a bit suspicious why people are disappearing, but nobody really goes to check on it. And I feel like it's a bit surprising that the teachers and that aren't looking through the hallways or wondering where all these students are going. It's just a bit off because I remember any excursion or school event, the teachers were like hawks everywhere. But I guess back in the 80s they were a bit more laid back. So Laurie and Tyler, which is the boyfriend, eventually go off somewhere and the guy tries to have sex with her. But just before he can, the killer kills him and chases Laurie. While this is happening, Laurie's friend actually finds the bodies in the basement, and they meet up in the basement when she hears her screaming. We, after one of the women was killed, it's actually revealed that there's more than one assailant. One is a lot taller, more muscular, is clearly a man. The other one is a lot smaller, quicker, which you can assume is a woman. It eventually comes to a boil when they escape the male killer and run into the prom. The killer actually follows them in, kills a couple of students, even cuts off the principal's arm, and is eventually unveiled as Tiffany's father, the father of the rich girl, Dan. So the police come and arrest Dan and take the one girl to the hospital because she cut her hand. And the main girl decides to go home with the rich girl because the rich girl's feigning innocence. She had no idea her father would do this, and they seem like they're going to reconcile. You even start to wonder, okay, well, maybe she didn't know about the father. But obviously when they get home, it's revealed that the other killer was the mother, and they were all doing this to make sure that she got prom queen, which is pretty fucking nuts. And the daughter was, of course, in on it. She also tries to kill Laurie. As they fight, the mother explains that she's the one who actually killed Laurie's father, not her mother. So it kind of ties up that loose end, but it feels very rushed. And Laurie's able to overcome them both. She kills the younger woman by pushing her off a staircase, and she's impaled by this falcon statue. And she's able to kill the mother by bludgeoning her with a trophy. As the movie ends, goes to credits, and then after the credits, as the mother's dying, her blood forms this witch's mark on the floor. That's basically the only tie-in to the other movies. Other than that, it doesn't really matter, and even if you're watching this on its own, it won't matter much. So let's get into what I think of the movie now. As a slasher, I think it's quite good. I like the gore, even though it's a bit over the top, cutting people's hands off and heads off, and it just shows everything. But other than that, I think it works quite well as something you don't take seriously. Because if you do take it seriously, you're going to start to notice the issues. The issues being inconsistencies with how the school acts towards these students, procedure, that sort of thing, and predictability. I mean, if you couldn't tell that the moment we saw the rich girl's parents that they were fucking nuts, then I'm amazed. And as it goes on, when the second killer's revealed, you're like, oh, well, that can only be her parents. It's the only thing that makes sense. Especially when they keep showing the other characters they could be in situations where it's impossible for them to be the killer. So I think it fails on that front. But other than that, on its own, it's not a bad movie. It plays a lot into the tropes of horror movies. Upped characters, the outcast girl, her friend who's a rebel, the rich girl and the rich girl's friends, and the teachers who are obsessed with things like prom night, But it's enjoyable. I'd definitely give it a 7 out of 10, maybe a 6 out of 10. Other than that, it's not too bad. And as a tie into the other movies, it works, because you can watch it on its own, but if you're watching it after the original trilogy, then it will still work well. Chronologically, it takes place 6 years before the first movie, and 10 years after the second. There's even a slight reference to it right near the end when the police are discussing the murders and saying like, oh, this is even worse than the killings at the camp. And that was the second movie's plot, which is a nice touch. I think they'll definitely make more in the Fear Street series if this does well enough. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it online, but I'm sure they're going to make more because there's so much you can do with slashes. You can just keep making more and more and more. They'll eventually get bad, but people will watch them regardless, just for fun. So yeah, if you enjoyed this movie, let me know, and if you enjoyed my review of it, I'm glad. If you think it was utter dog shit, well, tell me. And also, if you have a problem with me calling the rich girl a rich bitch, just watch the movie. You'll see how fitting that title is. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.